The gender gap in STEM, why does it persist, and what can be done to bridge it? As STEM learning and STEM fields continue to grow in popularity, um, these areas continue to not include women to the degree that they do men. I chose this topic because through my experience in the classroom and my learning uh, in this class, um, I've learned and became more aware that there's certain attitudes and ideas that exist that continue to create a situation where the gender gap um, continues to persist. Um, the gender gap, referring to the disparity in numbers between women and men in traditional STEM fields, through research, there have been multiple causes for this. More recently, Rinking and Martin have identified three causes: gendered socialization, which is basically the idea that society creates a certain acceptable career choice for men and women. Uh, and these ideas obviously don't include women being in the STEM fields. Peer groups, which are greatly influenced by society, or the gendered socialization, which leads women um, to be influenced by their peers who have been influenced by society to not choose these STEM fields, which compounds the initial problem of gender socialization, and then stereotypes of STEM professionals, which is basically the idea held by many professionals that there is an innate inferiority among women when it comes to STEM fields. Um, my thesis is that research has shown that um, we must go beyond the idea that it's a simple lack of interest that is keeping women out of STEM careers. And that current research shows that is actually self confidence in relation to these skills that is what is allowing the STEM gap to persist. Um, the numbers um, of women within these fields is actually dropping, although we've become more aware of the gap. We're not actually making any improvement in shrinking it. And not only that, we're becoming aware that the gap actually starts much sooner than previously thought, actually beginning in kindergarten. Some strategies that I discovered in relation to how to shrink the gender gap, um, such as using online face-to-face outreach methods, so reaching directly towards girls to try to recruit them into these fields, providing information that builds up their interest, um, teaching them, how to help themselves within STEM, educating parents, educating teachers to make sure that we have equity in the schools within these STEM disciplines, making sure teachers are well aware of the issues that affect girls within STEM, and then providing adequate representation of women in these fields so that it's something that is not a unicorn, something that becomes expected to see women in these roles. Um, Making sure that within the school you have representation of women, making sure that the idea is not that STEM fields are a result of some natural ability, but actually hard work and effort, so that allows girls to see that this idea of society places upon them that it's not for you is false. It's for everyone. It just, you take the interest, you take the effort, you take the confidence, and you can be successful within these fields. Um, and that is what I've learned from my research, is that it is self-confidence and not just interest. A lot of times that lack of interest, as it's called, is actually a lack of confidence, where obviously if you're not confident in something, it's going to appear as if you're not interested. And if we can raise the confidence level of young girls, then we can affect their interests. Um, and that's what I saw in all the strategies that I researched and I came across this common thread that investing in STEM teachers, obviously that's going to build confidence. You see female STEM teachers in front of you, you have confidence that you can do that. Uh, Curriculum with girls in mind, seeing the curriculum is made for you, that's confidence that you know this is an important aspect of not just boys' education, but also girls' education. The positive classroom climate that obviously touches on all types of education, um, but a positive classroom environment improves confidence. And then obviously positive representation of females in STEM, uh, proper and adequate resources for girls, gender equity. Those all go together where girls see themselves as someone who can be uh, involved in STEM, and they all will increase student self confidence. Um, so, the way that I see the future and the way to shrink this gap and to make it so that STEM is a viable and it's just a viable field for girls in the classroom and a viable career path is to make sure that teachers pay close attention to their students' confidence levels, making sure that teachers are using strategies to ensure that their classrooms are all inclusive and safe for boys and for girls. Um, and then, like I said, making sure that there is that representation um, of females in the STEM fields, and then creating equity, making sure, hey, this is for boys, this is for girls, and not leaning on the boys' side of the equation more than the girls' side of the equation.